Hi guys, Happy New Year. In this video, I'm going to be talking about all the books I read in December. There's reactions included, both happy and sad, and we're going to start with The Lost Ticket.
I've gotten about 100 pages into The Lost Ticket. It's starting to pick up. It's a really cute story so far, but I'll give you a full rating whenever I've finished it. Sir, how am I supposed to focus? Hey, I don't own this book. You can't tear it up. No, no.
So I'm about halfway through this book, a little bit more than halfway, and things are really picking up. I'm like breathing heavy. We're at a moment where something big is about to happen in this book, and I'm a little bit more than halfway in this book, and things are they're at the height, like something's about to happen. Either things are gonna go well or things are gonna go downhill from here, and I'm kind of sad to find out which, honestly. There's been some developments in the story and characters. You're starting to get involved with all the characters. Oh my god. I gotta read. I gotta find out what happens. I can't even focus. I can't even, there's so much going on. I can't even focus. Okay, so got through moment, one moment with the characters and things went well, but I know there's like another interaction coming up that I'm super like nervous about. So I'm enjoying this though. This book is so good. Clearly I enjoyed this book a lot. I would give it 4 stars. Honestly, probably maybe even 5. It's a romance novel. I would definitely suggest it for anybody who likes romance. So pretty much all the books that I've been reading so far are book recommendations by Haley Pham. I don't really tend to pay attention to the genres too much. I basically will just write down titles that people will tell me are good books to read, and then I just jump into them and hope they're right. Book of the month, please don't hate me for saying this, but I'll also peruse their website to see what they're suggesting or what they have suggested in the past, and then try to see if I can find those books in my local library so I don't have to buy them. It's not that I have anything against buying their books. I'm sure, they offer really great deals, but for me personally, it doesn't work out because I read books so quickly, 2 or 3 days, that they're just going to end up on a shelf collecting dust. And I know that I could, resale them, but I don't want to have to go through all that. It's easier if I can just, get the book from the library, spend 2 or 3 days reading it, and then return it. This is one that I saw in Book of the Month, The Unmaking of June Morrow. It is a newer release. It just came out in November. Haley Pham, I think, recommended this one, so I wrote it down on my list. And when I saw that they had it in my local library, I snagged it. I'm about 100 pages into this book, and to be honest, I was about to put it down when I first started it. I find that the author is too lengthy in her descriptions. So this is just a difficult read. As I said, it's not because of the actual language, like the words that she's using or anything. It's just the fact that she is so descriptive that it almost makes the read boring. But I will say that I've been combining this book with the audiobook, which I can get for free on Spotify with premium. In combination with the audiobook, I feel like it's a wonderful read. I like just being able to see the words and hear them at the same time, and I don't have to read aloud, so that's kind of relaxing. But yeah, just reading the book on its own, I was not having a good time. And that's it. I finished it. I finished The Unmaking of June Farrow. I really enjoyed this book, although I will say the beginning of it, I almost set it down. I was like, by chapter 13, I was starting to get frustrated. I was like, this book is a flop. but it does redeem itself. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. I give it 5 on audiobook, honestly, because the descriptors are really nice, but reading all of that, like reading those long sentences, it wasn't my thing. But I enjoyed this.
This book is literary fiction / romance. Ooh, I like whenever it has a map. That's a good sign.
The story's starting to get good. Things are getting magical. I want to read some more. I plan to have my nose in this book all day.
This book is gorgeous, and the art definitely helps pull you into the fantasy.
I stayed up till midnight. That's a lie. I stayed up till 2 a.m. reading this freaking book. I finished it. So it took me like 2 days. But this is really good. It's part of a series. I'm planning on reading the other 2 soon. So excited about that. But I already have another book. This is the 7-Year Slip. I'm excited about this one. This is, I think, supposed to be kind of like a romance. So it'll be different from the fantasy that I was just reading. The 7-Year Slip is a romance novel across time, though I would say that I'm more of a fantasy or thriller kind of girly. I did enjoy this book. I would give it 5 stars. I couldn't necessarily find anything to nitpick about. If you like sexy romance novels, this is definitely one for you.
Even though it's 471 pages, I still flew through this.
I started reading Legendary. This is the 2nd book in the Caraval series. While the 1st book follows Scarlet, the 2nd book seems to be following her sister Tella. So I am very interested to get further into this and see what happens. I finished Legendary. It's the 2nd book in the Caraval series. There's not much that I can say about it. Won't provide spoilers to the series, but you are introduced to a couple new characters, and I did enjoy this book. I will definitely be picking up the 3rd and final book of the series sometime soon. I would give this book 4 stars. It wasn't perfect, but I did like it. I also read Dashing Through the Snow. This book was complete trash. Do not recommend to anyone. I only chose to read this because I needed a book set in winter for my winter reading challenge. I thought it was terrible. It was just, I can't even get into how bad I thought this book was. Honestly, I think I hate read it. I just didn't want to not finish it. After reading Dashing Through the Snow, I picked up The House in the Cerulean Sea, and I'm only 130 pages into this book, but I am in love with it. It follows the department in charge of magical youth, who is following up on orphanages to ensure that they are safe for the children. You can only imagine where their story is taking me, and I'm having a great time. I've been reading passages of this book to Josh just because I feel like I want to share it with somebody. I can't wait to tell you guys my final thoughts on this book. I've got about 120 pages remaining, and I can tell there's about to be some sort of conflict. I'm a little bit worried about this and how it's going to end because it's truly a little bit heart-wrenching at times. So I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also scared. But I've really been enjoying this book. I'm going to be sad when it's done. And the last book I read is The House in the Cerulean Sea. I greatly enjoyed this book. I would rate it 5 stars. I was trying to read passages from this book to my boyfriend just because of how hilarious I found it at times. There was also joy and conflict in this book. I was dreading decisions that were going to be made at the end. I would highly encourage this one to anybody who enjoys fantasy. As always, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I gave you guys a couple of books to add onto your personal TBR. My goal for 2024 is to read 50 books. I know that is a little bit much compared to, the fact that I only recently started reading, but I was able to read, I think, 13 books in 2023, which I find really awesome. I only started halfway through November, so I'm satisfied with that. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.